back. Press Ubisoft Connect benefits. Welcome to London. TGFNO_score pick call. Press on.
Ah, London. What a town. History around every corner, and a tourist photographing it. Pubs serving up a pint and a smile. All that music, theatre and art. And multiculturalism. And the world's oldest underground, the Tube. The class of cities, really. Top shelf stuff. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
What's our status?
Perimeter security's down, but plenty of your flying friends about.
Fucking hell.
Dalton, no time to waste.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in. Any idea what we're up against, Bagley?
If you hadn't brushed off, I might. Ever consider leaving these security threats to the authorities?
That's rich, Bagley. The government would sooner arrest us for trying to help than actually do something useful.
We'll have to sort this one on our own.
Carefully, Dalton.
Bagley, are you detecting a little worry in Sabine's voice?
Brilliant. Asking the computer about feelings. This explains so much.
Shut it, you two, and get to work.
There she is.
Their profiles are heavily encrypted. No identifying information.
Ghosts in this system. That hurt you more than it hurt me.
Do us a favor and keep it quiet, Dalton.
If they don't shoot me, I won't shoot them. How's that? They've got loads of dead-set gear down here. Now why do you suppose that is?
What? How did they get their hands on it?
I don't know. But someone wants to make it look like DedSec was here.
Shit. You need to proceed with extreme caution, Dalton.
Who are these men in black, anyway?
Nothing identifying. I suspect that's by design.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Bagley, is that...
RDX nitrogen. Enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Bagley, is that not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal to a device on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
They've staged DedSec propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first.
In the House of Commons. Whoever these men in black are, they've got brass bollocks to set up in the centre of government.
I found the detonator. And it's definitely live. Bagley, I'm gonna need some help with this.
Yes, you are, but sadly I'm locked out.
Fuck. Well, we don't have a chance without Bagley.
Wait, I might know a workaround. We trained in manual overrides at MI5.
You're full of surprises. Be quick about it.
All right, Bagley, do your thing.
I'm in. And the bombs have just armed themselves. Well, that may complicate matters.
Fuck's sake.
Can you defuse them or not?
Of course I can, but I might also trip another failsafe and vaporize you, so fair warning.
Expect this to draw some attention your way, Dalton.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Company at our back door.
Dalton, we've got some heat here at HQ.
How long's this gonna take, Bagley?
Depends how often you interrupt me with questions.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out. It's about to get real.
Fuck.
They're on me. I'll try and hold them off.
I'm here. They're here. Don't see anything here. I know you're here.
Bagley, update.
Let's just say I'm both impressed and annoyed by how sophisticated this anti-tamper security is. Still working.
Oh my god. Run to cover!
Bagley, tell me you're close.
I'm through security, now wading through terabytes of decoy code looking for the destination sequence.
Finding cover! I need some help! Fucking hell!
Dalton. I need your physical appendices now.
What's wrong?
There are 3 slots on the left. One of them is the receiver. You need to pull the controller wire.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm fucking not. Pull the wire.
If this gets me blown up...
Bombs defused. See? That wasn't so bad, was it?
Bagley, you bastard. You nearly gave me a bloody heart attack then. Whoa, what the fuck am I looking at?
It appears Parliament is not the only target. More bombs are going live as we speak.
On screen, Bagley.
Now we need to get the word out. Those sites need to be evacuated.
They're spread out all over London. There isn't any time.
But my sister's at the town conference. We have to do something.
I picked up a transmitter on the roof that is sending out a signal to the other bomb sites. If you can reach it...
I can shut it all down. Sabine!
Fuck! Dalton, we're breached! Go! The roof!
Sabine, what's going on?
We're being raided. It's a bloodbath. Her protocol is to wipe everything, including Bagley.
I need him for the transmitter.
I know, but if they get him, they get everything. Names, ops, locations.
Okay, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Wipe him.
Yes, wipe me.
Do it, Sabine, and get the hell out of there.
Fuck. Okay, Bagley's down. You're on your own. Dalton, if this goes...
It won't. I'll see you at the rally point. I promise.
Good luck.
Check their
Where are you? Okay. Bingo. No.
Well done, Dalton Wolf. I'm impressed.
The fuck are you?
Oh, you still think you're here to save London? I'm afraid that's not going to happen. You're here to help us with some important work.
Important work. Killing thousands of people.
Exactly. To save the world. You do know Londoners have died before, hmm? The plague, the Great Fire, the Blitz. It's not much fun. But destruction is always the cure. And it begins today. 0 day. It's time for a hard reset.
Oh my God.
A series of explosions devastated 3 sites in London. Authorities are asking residents to remain in their homes as the situation continues to develop. We have received no official casualty total, but it is expected.
Mourners gathered for a series of candlelight vigils that brought closure to thousands of families and indeed to an entire city. London is now laser-focused.
Today at 10 Downing Street, where Nigel Cass, CEO of private military company Albion, received a mandate to secure London. Cass has vowed to hunt down DedSec. Terrorist responses failed force. Albion used cutting-edge artificial intelligence systems and autonomous drones to capture the remaining members of DedSec. A stark warning to would-be insurgents.
Corporations are posting record profits due to increased efficiencies in production and distribution, enabled by the use of technologies initially developed and approved for security purposes.
As crime numbers take a dive. Illegal gambling, drug trafficking and prostitution all down following prosecutions of the leaders of 4 of London's 5 largest criminal syndicates. The streets of Camden and Brixton.
As Albion's mandate is extended indefinitely by the government, life finally begins to return to normal. Curfews and travel restrictions have been lifted in all boroughs, thanks to the deployment.
News outlets' reports of rioting in Trafalgar Square have been greatly exaggerated, possibly by foreign meddlers pushing a false narrative through social media. Albion is in complete control of
to reprimand the public about the circulation of fake news, conspiracy theories persisting in dark corners of the internet that terrorist group DedSec were framed for the bombings have been roundly rejected. Our own reporters could not find a single Londoner willing to expound those theories on camera. The facts simply don't support any other story.
I need to assemble a team, but I can't reboot DedSec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, DedSec showed their true colors. It's terrifying to think we harbored such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs in London, like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next, I have...
situation is worse than I thought. But there's a candidate. Looks like you're DedSec's best hope. Glad to see you're alive. If you're still committed to the cause, DedSec needs you. I'll send you the coordinates to our last safe house. Meet me there.
Fine.
I'm Claire Waters.
Yeah. Hey, man's never been in. When it's shut down, that's not me and it's shut down. Ring ring pussy and it's shut down. Hey, fashion week and it's shut down. Went to the show sitting in the front row in a black tracksuit and it's shut down. Touch the road and it's shut down. Boy better know when it's shut down. Yeah, take time if a man want try me. No time. Usain Bolt when I run up on stage, I pick up the mic and it's reload time. Don't know your songs, but they know mine. That's why I got gigs just like Joe Grind. After the show, I'll be rolling mine. Don't care about the no smoking sign. They tried to steal my vision. This ain't a culture, it's my religion. God knows I don't wanna go prison. But if a man want try me, trust me, listen. Me and my G's ain't scared of police. We don't listen to no politician. Everybody on the same mission, and we don't care about your ism and schisms. Cause it's shut down. That's not me and it's shut down. Ring ring pussy is shut down. Hey, fashion week and it's shut down. Went to the show sitting in the front row in a black tracksuit and it's shut down. Touch the road and it's shut down. Boy better know when it's shut down. You wanna act like a G for the camera. You say you're Muslim, you say you're Rasta. You say you don't eat pork, don't eat pussy. Liar, you're just an actor. Blood, you're not on your beam. And if Selassie I saw you, he would say blood, take off the red, gold and green. Them man are soft just...
This is a security announcement.
I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't DedSec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
I'm not thrilled about getting my hands dirty, but I suppose one does what one must. of Sabine's, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
In for a penny. A dank, pitch-black cellar. Just what I was hoping for.
No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
I'm with Sabine. Who the hell are you, and why do you sound like a mobile phone?
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed.
Would you... Look at that!
Ah, that's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London. Dalton Wolf dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
So, Bagley, if not DedSec, then who was behind the bombings?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call. Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
My God. How'd you survive?
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition hit would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
There aren't many DedSec fans in London these days. Look, I want to help, I do. But joining up with you now verges on suicidal.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
Fine. But you owe me.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your DedSec kit. We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In Dead...
I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. You'll want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. Nice one! Couldn't have done that better myself. Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. Couldn't have done that better myself. Couldn't have done that better myself.
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, You represent DedSec now.
All right, Sabine, what... our plan?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
And all our cowering just makes us easier to step on. Albion needs this terror. It's how they consolidate their power.
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified 2 opportunities. 1, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. 2, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
How could I say no to you?
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
Chief Chirper.
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
First they take over the justice system, then they move in. So much for rule of law.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here about how Albion are targeting dissenters, the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
If not, you need to give up!
Bagley, what do we have?
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the hell?
Oh. Suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards... Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise up. Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. Now, let's disrupt some of Albion's propaganda and give some hope to the people.
You might decline, then I'll rewind, but you stay there. This is all fine. You started laughing, and ahhing. I said, man, this car is stalling. I said, babes, I'm a big man. I got big plans.
What the fuck, guy?
Those Albion pricks putting their ugly stamp on everything. It makes me sick just looking at it.
There's going to be that much less once you're done here. Let's give Camden a break from these eyesores.
On it. Please, hold your applause.
If you hijacked that scissor lift, you could use it to access the rooftop.
presence or installation of illegal programs to your optic is a punishable offence. It compromises your security and the security of London.
Yes, nicely done. That'll get people's attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
What now?
We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Forward me the coordinates. Move it, sweetie. Then that's our move.
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid power generator in there. Output must be immense. You cause a power surge in that base and boom.
Didn't you say it was closed to the public? How do you come by that intel?
It cost me a news drone. Okay, maybe 3, but it's worth it if this comes off, right? Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
Suggestions?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid power generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
Suppose we should check it out. Check this out.
Cool, looks bloody complicated. Newsy's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code that'll get us into the generator's system. That's it. Use the code on the generator and I can trigger a power surge.
There should be enough to take King's Cross offline. And the rail system too. Here we go.
Detected. Beginning the investigation. Warning. Continuing unlawful activity.
We got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're chomping at the bit.
At this point, I think we'll take all comers. DedSec needs people.
Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day. If you're feeling out of your depth or like you could use a breather, you can always call on your new teammates to step in. It's your call.
That's the advantage of working together, instead of alone.
All right, I'm here.
In theory, the AR reconstruction should allow me to use various sources of surveillance data to rebuild past events. Access a data relay, and I can scrape all the metadata for this area. That's it. Now, let's take this autocratic wet dream for a test drive.
Stand down, let up you.
Ready for action.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Okay, this is actually getting a bit creepy.
You're right. We definitely need this extremely cool thing I want for investigating Zero Day. Shit, for some reason I can't clone it to our servers. All right, access the network here, and let's see if we can't find out where to nick one. Located the CTOS hub. The SIRS has deployed this technology at their HQ, and I've just nabbed their manual on how to set up the system. Now, Scarpa, you can't steal their toy if they throw you in the gulag.
So, Bagley, how do we get our hands on this AR reconstruction tech?
The program is hosted on a server that's on the roof of SIRS HQ. All you have to do is grab the whole thing, then take it to a few high-density locations so I can recalibrate it to the DedSec network and clone my own version.
What? Take the physical server off the roof? How exactly do you expect me to manage that?
We need to find someone with access to a cargo or construction drone that can fly it off of there. Perfect opportunity to recruit a heavy lifter to the cause, I'd say.
All right, so where do I find this heavy lifter?
Well, let's put our thinking caps on, shall we? Now, who in London would have access to a construction drone? Could it be a construction worker?
Obviously. Thank you, Bellend.
Not so hard, was it? There's an active construction yard nearby. I dare say you'll probably be able to find a construction worker to recruit there. Here's the coordinates.
They look promising.
You look like someone who might want to fight for London.
Oh, shit! You're DedSec, right? You gotta help me.
Perhaps. What's the situation?
I fucked up. You know, I had this medical thing I couldn't pay for. And Clan Kelly gave me a loan without telling me the interest is so high and I can't ever pay it back. Like, come on, get me out of this or I'm trapped for life, please.
All right. We'll see what we can do.
Clan Kelly will bleed our new friend dry if we don't do something. This particular construction site is a money laundering front for a Kelly chapter out of Camden Market. Any record of the debt would be stored there.
Okay.
Listen, trying to get GCSEs while trying to be this MC. Force all the backside of my knees, man, they know how to stampede. Getting gas to run new 16 like who wants to come crash me. Might see me on Jenkins Road or frontline in FP. Started putting my own room, probably wanted to get me in all out. Bigger than my hometown, G's me up, putting me all out. Promoters on the phone now, I rems, man, I got to go now. Man just got booked to the club, there's a few man, we got to call out.
Don't have the right tool for the job? You can exchange your gadget for a different one that's better suited to the situation.
Looks like these Kelly vermin have built themselves a nice little nest. Quite the operation.
You're looking for a terminal or some kind of device that Clan Kelly would have stored the debt records on.
look somewhere else.
Find them!
While the drones observing your every move might make you feel like you're living in a city-shaped prison, what's bad news for society is good news for DedSec. You can hack those nosy little buggers and use them to scout ahead. Right, you're going to raise all record of their debt, putting our new friend back into the black and, more importantly, out of Clan Kelly's reach.
Fantastic.
Transfer complete.
Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 18...
Good news! Your debt to the Kellys has been wiped, so you're free. Next time, try not to let the gangsters balance your book.
They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned body on the beat. This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised. But we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is... This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the Beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised. But we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is that now the private companies have guns. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice? On Buccaneer, we conceal everyone's full names for their own safety. Here's Helen, who investigated policing, civil rights and justice in pre-crisis Britain.
One of the kind of classic hallmarks of a fascist leader is having their own private army or police force. You know, in a democracy, the state tends to have a monopoly on violence, and that's not what happens when a state fails.
DedSec resurgence have prompted Parliament to approve the use of lethal force for Albion contractors. CEO Nigel Cass had this to say.
DedSec terrorists will quickly find that Albion, unlike the police force of this city, is battle-tested and proven in the field.
The Prime Minister's office has called this shoot-to-kill mandate a drastic but necessary...
You joined at the right time. Here, your new optic.
Feels like a red pill thing, innit? Once I'm in, no going back to normal. Chilling with Mandem and that.
Look around. Sirs and Albion have just invented a new normal.
I know shit's fucked. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. But just to walk away from my whole life.
I won't lie, we're all making sacrifices. But protecting what you love is always worth it.
We spoke to academic Albion, all names on the down low, of course, about the politics, law and order.
I think it's very important.
All right. Yeah. Let's do this.
Welcome to the Resistance.
Any area by forces which are employed to...
Right. Welcome aboard, etc., etc. I'll give you the speech later. Right now, we need you and your big, strong drone friend to get on top of SRS HQ and steal a server. Think you can handle that?
I'm on the move.
Completely impossible to distinguish between a kind of state police or a police which operates in the service of the community and one which operates to protect private interest.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the Beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised, but we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is that now the private companies have guns. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice? On Buccaneer, we conceal everyone's full names for their own safety. Here's Helen, who investigated policing...
Yo, man's live on the scene.
I'll highlight the server with the AR reconstruction software. It's out of reach, so you'll need to use a heavy cargo drone to steal it.
monopoly on violence, and that's not what happens when a state fails. You know, you end up with people running their own private militias, and we've seen this all over the world. You know, every kind of great dictator in history has had basically their own jackbooted set of guys that they can send in to rough up people who annoy them. And that's the danger, of course.
I'll put the server in your whip. You're good to go now. Watch the road, all right? Don't get blown up.
It might shock you to learn that I know how to drive. Thanks.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
This will do. Remain in the area until I've downloaded enough data to the server. Download complete. I need a wider sample of data, so I'm pushing you the coordinates to a new location. This is brilliant. Look at this. It's compiling data from the surveillance infrastructure. Nearby CTOS drones, civilian optics, CCTV, and then it assembles those scraps into what happened in this location 24 hours ago. Fantastic. You're too far. I'm served from your optic, so I need you to stay within range.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
All right, scraping data from optics, CTOS cameras, microphones, laptops. Say, do you reckon SRS uses this to watch people shag? Fucking hell, do they use it for anything but watching people shag?
Bagley, we have uninvited guests.
Well, shit, can you do anything to lose your new friends? Maybe invite them to a pottery night or overshare something personal. Whatever you do, just get to the last location in one piece.
My God. All right.
Transfer complete. I'm missing one last data set. Pushing you the coordinates to the location now.
careful. It's taking too much damage. A few more hits and it's toast.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Apprehend the suspect.
Still being attacked here.
Don't let the drones destroy the server before I'm done. Get out of the lorry and take care of them. Shoot them, throw rocks at them, destroy them psychologically with cyberbullying. Just keep them busy until the transfer's complete.
Immobilizing the suspect.
All right, I've got it. Now, we can't lug around this server forever. We should probably wipe our prints off it anyway.
Go on.
I'll overload the CPUs to cause a power spike and destroy the battery unit. The electromagnetic pulse should destroy both the server and the drone. So, you know, run! Well, that was fun, wasn't it? We pulled off a heist, made life a bit harder for the tyrants of the world, and most importantly, I got a new toy to play with. Now, run along back to the safe house. Sabine wants you and your new teammates for a briefing.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today, we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability, and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to sign it...
Well done, team. It's good to see the safe house filling up again. The only way we're going to keep London from falling into total oppression is by rebuilding the resistance. We need to recruit, train, build back our arsenal. The people are itching to rise up and take their city back. We just need to show them that DedSec are fighting along with them.
I agree. This city is being picked apart by scavengers and they must be stopped.
Anyone here been in beef with Albion? No, they got the whole city in a stranglehold and they know it.
And then there's Clan Kelly, exploiting the desperate. They need to be on our shit list.
Fair, but remember that this zero-day hacker group is still out there. They took out DedSec once, and it's a good bet they'll try again. I believe they were responsible for the bombings and framed DedSec. With your help, I plan to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I'd say that's a full docket. Enough talk. Let's unfuck London.
Talking about something I could dress like a bee, man. Not like a giant.
I don't much care for walking around this place. It feels like an open-air morgue.
Yo, I got a question. The news says the building's under repair, right? So where's the repairman? All they got is security.
More than a bit suspect. Bags, what am I looking for?
Any kind of device or component that could still be emitting the signal. It seems to be coming from within the rubble.
Not acting like myself. I am a high-functioning, obstinate alcoholic, so stressed. Be perfectly back to normal, or whatever you perceive me once this quarter is over. What? Think this through.
Don't let the tit-head get away.
What the fuck? This is it. Hack access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction.
That is interesting.
Perfect. 2 more data relays to go.
You're done for now.
You know what to do. Search the area.
What's that?
I give up. Let's regroup.
One more data relay and I'll have it.
Bloody rat.
That should do it. Now, I'll just take the audio from this stream and the video from these 36 and... got it. Go back to where you found that spider bot and I'll show you the AR reconstruction from the night of the explosion.
Okay.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
You brought the payload? What, think we'd go back for you? Don't trust the Kelly dog.
Kelly? As in Clan Kelly? Does that mean mobsters did the bombings?
Looks more like a handoff, like the Kellys were providing supplies.
That woman they were meeting didn't seem like the gangster type either. Could she have been a part of Zero Day?
Well, don't just stand there. Keep looking.
Bagley, who was controlling this spider bot?
I've now fully decrypted the signal the Spider-Bot is broadcasting, and while I cannot identify a specific user, it is a call code used by the Metropolitan Police Service.
The police was watching this as it was happening?
The reconstruction continues behind that rubble.
Oh, brilliant. I'll just pop open a quantum tunnel, shall I?
Quantum tunnel technology is at least 10 years away, but Spider-Bots and drones are here today. You could try one of those if you don't feel like waiting.
Good call, sweetie.
Why don't you aim those human eyeballs of yours at the van's cargo?
Okay.
RDX nitrogen, and the exact same detonator system like the bombs that were planted at Parliament.
0 days signature.
Damn, hurry. Got all the deliveries.
So you were hired to supply all the targets? Shut it, we're all on need to know.
So 0 Day was using multiple groups to pull off the bombings. This just gets more tangled.
That's certainly one way to pull off a massive coordinated attack while remaining anonymous. 0 Day needed manpower and resources, but they needed them at an arm's length. And it doesn't take the world's greatest AI detective to see that both Clan Kelly and Albion benefited in the aftermath. Unfortunately, this is the most we can get out of the AR reconstruction. But if we could find the mystery officer who was spying through the Spider-Bot, maybe they could tell us more. Tracing the Spider-Bot's serial number, it was assigned to New Scotland Yard 3 years ago. Perhaps more information about its user or its assignment will be available at the station.
So the police were investigating a different suspect other than DedSec, but kept it quiet from the public. Oh, very professional.
The only way to know for sure is to investigate New Scotland Yard.
Well, Albion certainly made themselves at home.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased with your privatised goon squad, just take your business across the street.
I was never much of a fan of the Met, but I can't say I was itching to see them replaced with war criminals either.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the Spider-Bot will be further in.
Well, is this it, our Spider-Bot?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of Spider-Bot from the Tone bombing site.
Good. Be a dear and work out who last used it.
Navigate the Spider-Bot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
On it.
That opening right there looks like a good exit point. That's a part of the remote detonator system from Parliament. If the Met, or Albion rather, actually analysed it, they would see it wasn't DedSec's handiwork at all. Right, get comfy. This Spiderbot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected. Buggery fuck, would you look at all this junk? You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening.
Decided they couldn't be trusted to do their jobs. Suddenly some corporation could clean up our streets better than the same police force we've had for who knows how long. When crime fighting is treated like a business, crime will never go away. That would be bad for business, right? So don't tell me Albion has our best interests at heart. Sod that.
If the police could handle their job, Albion wouldn't be necessary. They can't. Home bombing is a perfect example. A bunch of lazy, overpaid officers.
You're almost there. Make your way through this last vent path.
Got it.
Scanning Spiderbot and accessing its internal drives. While I'm analysing this data, you should make yourself scarce. Unless you'd like to explain to your new, heavily armed, privatised police force why you've broken into the station.
Fine.
The Spiderbot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
We're this far down the breadcrumb trail, we might as well keep following it.
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates.
Bagley, find me an entrance.
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside. The GPS history of the spider bot we recovered regularly pinged these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
Good place to hold the world's least pleasant dinner party.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
Standard quadrant search. I have this one.
Incredible. There's some kind of secret police bunker down here, like a, what's the opposite of a serial killer's basement?
Well, if Albion was stomping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
But what were they working on that led them to the Tone bombing?
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Inspector Caitlin Lau, video log. Clan Kelly and Albion are teamed up on some deal. I don't have all the details, but it looks to be human trafficking. The European Processing Center is the Albion angle. Since the bombings, they can grab anyone off the street. Call them illegal immigrants, potential DedSec insurgents, whatever. Though we know who the real danger is. So, Clan Kelly gets hold of these people, these victims, really, and they're taking them somewhere. But where and why? It all comes back to the boss lady herself. I knew she was into something, but she wriggled off the hook. There's only one way I can do this. 24/7 surveillance on Mary Kelly. If I'm caught, well, this will be my last entry. But I have to see what she's hiding.
So, our mystery officer was Inspector Caitlin Lau. It sounds like Mary Kelly was her white whale. And her investigation led her to the bombings.
Oh, good. Albion is working with Clan Kelly. For a second there, I was worried they couldn't possibly get any worse.
It seems like Zero Days Web covers all of the unsavory bits of London. Tug on a thread, and it leads back to them. Clan Kelly and Albion included.
We can't very well allow people to be snatched off the streets. We have to do something.
Inspector Lau mentioned Albion is running their part of the operation out of the EPC. Detectives like us call that a lead.
This Albion Clan Kelly business leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And if Caitlin Lau's right, then this little nugget jumps to the front of the queue. We have reason to believe a former...
EPC. Well, at the very least, we can assume he's still in the UK. Deportations have backlogged to all hell.
I sent the details to your device and advised our...